Hello and welcome to the Bison Basketball Show. I'm Brian Shawn. Winning on the road in the Summit League is proving to be tough. After surviving a thriller at South Dakota, the Bison men's basketball team right back on the road, taking on a hungry Denver squad. The Bison coming in winners of 6 out of their last 7 games, including a pair of victories on the road. The team's trading baskets early. Carlin Dupree crossing over, hitting the jumper. His only basket of the game ties it at 4. Daniel Amigo, a big game inside for Denver. Going to work, the up and under for 2. Pioneers build an 8-point lead. A.J. Jacobson, one of just 2 Bison players in double figures scoring against Denver. The driving layup for 2 of his team high 13 points. Later in the half, Paul Miller going to work, driving inside, cut off, but able to hit the turnaround hook shot. Miller added 12 points. That bucket cut the lead to 11, but the Pios end the first half on a 13-2 run, crashing the boards after the miss. C.J. Bobbitt back up and in plus the foul. He had 10 points and 6 boards. Denver led by 20 at the half. Second half, NDSU trying to make a run. Kai Cabellis, the spin move in the lane, banking home 2 of his 8 points, but the Herd never got any closer than 16 points on the comeback, due largely in part to plays like this. Bodies crashing on the floor, Denver coming up with the loose ball and would run away in the game. Amigo, the lob inside, the big jam over 2 defenders. He scored a game-high 28 points to go along with 12 rebounds. The Pioneers roll 79-55. NDSU shot just 32% from the field and were outscored 40-20 in the paint. The tough road trip, a learning experience, but despite the loss, NDSU still in first place in the Summit League.
It's hard to keep that energy up after you've put it all out there, and you come back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like I said, it's just it takes a different kind of breed, and I think we can do that, and we'll definitely do that next time we get the opportunity to.
It's different, a lot different than high school, obviously, but at the end they're just kind of excuses, and you just got to go out and play basketball. We would have loved to get that game, but obviously can't get them all. But still in first place, still in a good position. But these are very important games that are coming up, and we got to take them one game at a time. Just got to be locked in every single day.
We now welcome in men's head coach Dave Richmond to the set. Dave, obviously that was going to be a really difficult road trip for your guys. Very emotional win in South Dakota. And then you had to turn around and go to Denver. Road, trying to get 2 victories in a row, extremely difficult in the Summit League. I think we saw that against Denver.
Yeah, anytime you can go on the road, Brian, and get a split, it's good. Now, obviously, we're not in it for good. We want to be great, but proud of our guys, the way we competed against a very good South Dakota team on Wednesday. And then we knew it was going to be tough coming back. We ended up getting back, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, however you want to look at it, about 3 in the morning. Weren't able to practice on Thursday, and then a quick turnaround, and you got to travel, and as nice as it is to just have the one flight from Fargo to Denver, there's still a 45-minute trip to your hotel and just some of those things. So I thought our guys were in a pretty good mindset, but until you get out there in that game on Saturday afternoon, you're just not totally prepared. And credit Denver. Obviously, they're a very good team, and Rodney's done a good job already in year 1. And putting them on the map, certainly in the Summit League here.
I know it scored 40-20 in the paint. That really isn't you guys at all. What do you take away from that game? What do you tell your guys after a game like that?
Well, you tell them you're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are. And you still look at the standings. We're 4-1. We're alone in first place. And so you want to build confidence of that. But you also understand that there's always room to get better. And certainly, we're starting to take care of the ball better. But there are definitely some things defensively that we can clean up that I think will help us be a better rebounding team as well.
Only 7 road wins across the league. North Dakota State has 2 of those road wins. We've seen how tough that is across the board. You're also one of only 16 teams in the country with at least 5 road wins in a season so far. So you take that away, there is a toughness forming, so to speak. I know Jaden Olson and I talked about that even last week.
Yeah, we've even got some gear to travel with, just a road attitude, a hashtag road grit, and I really do think it's a mindset. It really is. And actually, Jaden and I were as we're eating in the Denver airport yesterday, we were talking about it. I don't think there's anything really like it in sports. You can see the discrepancies in scores from home and away, and because there's so many variables in it too. What time you're playing, what did you do the prior game compared to what your opponent did, the weekend games compared to the weekday games, and the students, and there's just so many variables, but that's what makes it tough, and that's why we're certainly very pleased to be 4-1 and already have 2 wins on the road, double what we did last year.
to be 4-1 still in first place, that's a good place to be. I know there's a long way to go, still over 10 league games left, but at the same time, Dave, this is a really good start considering how tough the road has been to start.
Absolutely, and then you look at it from a standpoint too of where we are compared to our peers, and we're 4-1, and everybody else has at least got 2. Now, we wanted to get greedy on Saturday and separate it and give ourselves a little bit more cushion with 2, but we weren't able to get that done. But we also understand, that everything we want to do is certainly in front of us for a lot of reasons. Number one, like you said, because the season is still so young from a league standpoint. But we got the number 1 team preseason coming into our place on Thursday, which is going to be great, and turn around and can play a very much improved Western team on Saturday.
Approaching the Midway Conference point of the season, still number 1 in defensive field goal percentage, number 1 in points. Do you feel like you guys have settled in defensively, or do you still think there's a lot of room to improve there?
Yeah, that's again the staples have been, and I know I talk about it a lot, and it's who we are as a program: defending, rebounding, and taking care of the ball. And we're doing a lot better job of taking care of the ball. 7 turnovers on Saturday. Credit our guys was good, and might have been the only thing we were good at Saturday, but we were good at that. Now we've got to get a lot better defensively, in my opinion. Our numbers are good. Don't get me wrong, compared to the league. But what I think can help separate us from the league or be that different team is to be excellent defensively. And there's so many areas I think we can continue to improve and clean up. And I really think by doing that, by being better defensively, being more disciplined at times, that can clean up our rebounding numbers as well.
All right, Dave, good luck. I know this is a tough trip after taking on Fort Wayne tonight, but we wish you the best of luck.
We appreciate it. We knew this was going to be a tough stretch where 3 or 4 were on the road, and that 1 was against the number 1 team in the league. But this is exciting. I think the Summit League, is proven why it's one of the premier leagues in the mid-major basketball.
All right, Dave, good luck.
Thank you.
Talk to you next week. Much more to come here on the Bison Basketball Show. Martin Walseth and the Bison women out at Western Illinois and also taking on Omaha at home. We'll recap that coming up next.
The Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network is presented by Nodak Mutual Insurance Company and Dakota Windows.
Welcome back to the Bison Basketball Show. Martin Walseth and the NDSU women's basketball team had a whole week to get prepared for a road game at Western Illinois. Both the Leathernecks and Bison coming in as the 2 top scoring teams in the Summit League, both 3-1 in conference play. The Leathernecks coming in undefeated on their home floor this season and come out firing. Emily Clemens, the floater, for 2 of her 24 points. Later, Taylor Higginbotham left open for 3. Western Illinois up 12 after 1 quarter. Bison trying to keep pace. Sarah Jacobson scored a career-high 18 points, 2 on this jumper. Then Taylor Thunstead knocking down the 3. She had 4 trays in the game just before half. Anna Goodhope, another long jumper, but the Bison still down 20 at the break. NDSU cuts into the lead early in the 3rd quarter, but Morgan Bloomer would come up with the block, go all the way in. She scored a career-high 36 points in the contest. Goodhope back on the other end, gets a friendly roll for 3. She also tied a season high with 11 points. Riley Nudell also tallied a career high in the game. 15 points, 2 on this jumper early in the 4th quarter, but the Leathernecks continue to pour it on. Higginbotham another 3. She had 28 points. Western Illinois 15 of 33 from downtown. And the Leathernecks win it going away 110-81. The Bison out-rebounded Western Illinois 49-29, but still dropped its 2nd conference game. The Bison returned home for a matchup with Omaha, looking to get back on track, but again playing catch-up from the start. Riley Nudell facing up, hitting the jumper. She scored all 6 of her points in the first half. Anna Goodhope came off the bench, once again provided a spark. The corner 3, cutting the lead to 6 early in the 2nd quarter. After an Omaha run, Emily Spear able to work on the offensive glass, gets the putback to go. She scored 9 points and grabbed 5 rebounds, but the Mavs take the momentum going into the half. Michaela Shaw driving to the basket, flipping in 2 of her 13 points. She also dished out 5 assists. Bison down 12 at the break. The Mavs continue to roll in the 3rd quarter, a 13-2 run. Michaela Daprich, 5 of 8 from 3-point range. She scored a game-high 21 points. Goodhope continued her strong play in the 2nd half. Another triple. She was 6 of 8 from the floor and scored a team-high 15, but Omaha continued to pour it on. Abby Lujan to Courtney Bacher for the land. The Mavs had 21 assists on the night and roll to the 80-60 win. The Bison shot just 5 of 24 from 3-point range, and and dropped their second straight league game.
No matter what, I mean, it's still a team game. It's still what happens out on the court, and I think we really struggled defensively tonight, as well as just a few things offensively, so there's definitely a lot more to improve on.
I think we just got to buckle down defensively. We have to make sure we're communicating, that we're rotating, that we're scrambling out, finding the shooters. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. That teams are out or hunting us down because we have played very, very well against South Dakota, one of the top teams in the conference. We just have to keep grinding every single day.
The Bison women a couple of road games now at IUPUI and South Dakota. Stay with us. More to come here on the Bison Basketball Show. We are joined by women's head coach Maren Walseth to break down the past couple of games. Welcome back to the Bison Basketball Show. Maren Walseth, women's head coach, now joins us on the set. Maren, tough week. I think you knew going to Western Illinois it was going to be tough. That's one of the tougher trips, and then having to come back and take on Omaha. Two really unique styles that you had not really seen before, especially Western Illinois. I mean, you said breakneck pace. I think that's the best way to describe it. You know, Omaha playing zone, they mix it up a little bit defensively. Learning experiences for your team. I know neither game went the way you wanted it to go, but at the same time, what do you take away from those games?
Two very different games, as you said. Fast pace at Western and a matchup zone that we hadn't really seen before last evening. So, challenging for us, but we have a resilient group, and things that were positives was getting Riley Jacobson back, the way that Anna Goodhope played, being able to get more film for our kids to watch and make improvement. That's one thing that we've done consistently over the course of this year is get better and better. And so one step back is an opportunity to reevaluate and move forward.
I know you talked about defensively. You've shown the ability. I mean, South Dakota game, in case in point, the energy was there. Everybody was really locked in. You could really see that. One thing I know I've talked to your staff about, you've talked to me about it in the past, is it's those habits daily. It's not just game to game, but it's every day in practice. Bringing your lunch pail, going to work and bringing it every day. Have you seen any sort, I don't want to say drop off, but with school starting and all these things happening, does that change the dynamic for you as a coaching staff to try to get everybody locked in again every day?
Well, the reality is there's other things happening, and then it's great over Christmas break when we're the only thing on campus and in the gym, and we can spend a lot of time together and a lot of time in film and working on those things. But now the reality is that there is school and there are social distractions, and that's the great thing about college athletics. But it is refocusing the group, leaning on the leadership in the locker room, but also the coaches to have individual conversations of how do we bring our best effort in many categories every single day.
I know one thing you've talked about is coaching kids differently because the freshman to the senior. There's different priorities, different things you have to work on. With the freshmen, I'm sure you worry about them. Will they hit a wall? When will that wall be? Because we're now almost 4 months into this. Right. And this has been a grind, I know, for them. How do you manage that as a coach?
Well, some of those freshmen, their bodies are telling them, I haven't played this much basketball ever consecutively. I need to take a break. And so it is giving kids a day off, physically and mentally. It's changing up practice. Is it the same routine every time, or do we throw in some other fun activities? How do we handle things on the road to keep things fresh so they're not all thinking about the fatigue that is setting in for some of them?
For the first time in a while, you actually had 10 healthy players dressed. I know that must have felt really good to at least get RJ back into a game, try to get back in the flow.
Yes.
Emily Spear played some extended minutes again after getting her feet wet against Western Illinois. How much does that help, just being able to play a little more conventional than what you've had to the last couple of weeks?
I enjoy that, and I know that the kids, their teammates, and the ones coming back are really happy to be back. Is everybody a finished product right now? Absolutely not, but it's great to be working with a full 10 right now.
Riley Newdell, Anna Goodhope, you had mentioned taking some steps forward. Riley Newdell, a career high at Western Illinois. Anna Goodhope came off the bench, 15 points. She was flying around defensively, showed some pretty good energy. Feels like those kids have maybe turned the corner a little bit. Have you seen that day to day as well?
Oh, absolutely. And at Anna Goodhope, we spent some quality time together watching some film of the things that she does positively on the offensive end and how we can get her more of those based on some of her energy and what she can add to our defensive intensity and whatnot. And she responded very well, and I was very happy with how she played yesterday.
And we've talked about IUPUI on the road at South Dakota Thursday. It's a tough road. We wish you best of luck moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, Maren Walseth joining us here on the Bison Basketball Show. Stay with us. We will check in with one of the new assistants on the men's side. That's Kyan Brown, all the way from Alaska, through Oral Roberts to Fargo. That's next on the Bison Basketball Show. The journey to Fargo, North Dakota has been long and a little bit wild for NDSU men's basketball assistant Kyan Brown. He joined Dave Richmond's staff in May after spending the previous 8 seasons at Oral Roberts, but he seems to be acclimating to life in Fargo just fine. Here's more with the 6'7" Alaska native. Time to go one-on-one with Kyan Brown, one of the Bison men's assistant coaches. Rebounding.
I just saw you right there, man. Good form. Way to go get it with 2 hands.
I got it with 2 hands.
Absolutely.
I didn't jump very high, though. I know you work with the big guys, Kyan. You're on your first year as an assistant coach here, but you've been around a long time. Oral Roberts has been a place you've spent the last dozen years before coming here. Why Tulsa to Fargo? What made sense about this move for you?
You know, I get asked that question all the time. And it's funny because I don't think everyone knows what's in Fargo, you know, what kind of town it is. I was lucky enough at being at Oral Roberts University, I got to come here once a year, see the town, experience the people, know what kind of facilities they had coming up, the new ones were opening up. But more importantly, just the way this town supports, the state supports North Dakota State. I knew it was a special place. I knew it was a gold mine. It's a place that I always kind of really admired. Even when it was 40 below, I was like, hey man, this is a great town. It's a great spot that loves basketball, loves athletics. They got a great university. And I just tell people all the time, it's a hidden gold mine up here.
I know now, you have a strange path from where you've lived to where you've gone. You go from Alaska, that's where you started, and then you find your way in Tulsa, Oklahoma, now to Fargo. How do you go from way up north to way down south to way back up north again?
I'll tell you, it's a strange path. I was born and raised in Ketchikan, Alaska for 17 years. I moved to Van Buren, Arkansas, my junior year in high school for sports. Lived with my grandparents. My sister followed the next year when she was a junior. I finished up there. I went and played 1 year junior college basketball in Arkansas at West Ark, then now it's UA Fort Smith. Then from there, I got a couple different offers, but I decided to go to Oral Roberts University and play ball. From there, I wanted to get into coaching. So I continued there for 1 year. Then I did 2 years of junior college back at my old junior college, West Ark. 4 years at Missouri State University. Then went back to ORU for 8 more seasons. And then finally saw the light and came up north to North Dakota State. So yeah, I've been all over the place. I've got my wife, my 3 kids, and myself. We're all born in different states. A little fun Brown family fact for you right there.
Okay,
all 5 of us.
Name the 5 states.
Well, I'm from Alaska. My wife's from Pennsylvania. My eldest was born in Arkansas and then moved to Missouri. My son was born in Missouri and my youngest was born in Oklahoma.
Wow, so is it time to add another one now?
No, we're done. We figured it out. We're well beyond that. It's all basketball now. Now we're just working towards that.
It's all basketball now. Big guys, that's who you came in here to coach. That's been your experience, your expertise. What do you work on most with big guys? Because big guys sometimes take a little bit longer to develop their skill sets.
Absolutely, and one of the biggest things we're looking for in a post player is physicality. We want a physical post player because you know what? To enable to catch the ball down here, you got to be physical and demanding. You've got to get big in the post. Right. You've got to call for the ball. You've got to give the guard a hand to throw it to. But you've really got to work to create deep space. If we can do that, and we can get a big post player to come in here and work on that, then we'll fine tune from there. But the first thing you got to do is work on catching the post and getting big and being physical with the basketball.
All right, I'm getting big.
Okay,
I'm going to try to get big. So now, if I'm down here, I'm posting.
If you're coming out here right here, the first thing you want to do is you want to make contact with your man. So if the ball's out here on the perimeter, we'll put this right here. The ball's getting entered from the wing right here, and I'm guarding you. As this gets swung, you want to step in and seal me.
Okay.
No, say if I'm sealing you right here.
Okay.
And the ball's here, and you're on defense.
Okay, I'm on defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're guarding me here, okay, I'm gonna step in with my lower body.
All right.
Create space with my lower legs. Get big across the chest right here.
Okay.
And then I want to give the guard a hand.
Okay.
I don't want to be calling right here and giving off if he throws towards your side.
Yep.
Obviously the steal. But if I get big in the post, steal over top, call for it away from my defense.
And seal me off.
And seal you off. I can't extend anymore because that's a foul on that, but I want to get big right there.
That didn't used to be a foul, right?
That didn't used to be a foul.
But now it is.
So what do you got right here in the post? So if you step across, you're gonna call for, you're gonna get big, elbows
like
up.
Like this.
Yeah, and you're gonna call for it on that hand right there.
Give me this hand right here.
Now, as we catch in the post right here, we want to work the middle.
Okay.
Okay, the baseline's obviously another defender right there.
Is my base okay down here?
Good base right there, good base. If you're too skinny, if you're pleated together, we want to get, now you get a little pushed, a little pushed off, get off the paint.
You can push me around anyway.
Yeah, but big base right there, and we want to work the middle. If we work the middle, okay, all right, that's going to open up angles. We get the ball, we can pass out of it, we can score in the middle. If they cut us off, we can spin back, and there's a lot of different things we do after we work that. But the biggest part we want is we want guys that are physical, guys that have a big presence inside, and want to get down here and work. Because to be honest with you, that's where the dirty work's at.
That's what it takes to get it done.
If your mom wanted you to play basketball because it was a non-contact sport, she picked the wrong sport, because you're going to get physical down here with me.
And that's one of the big things I know you work on. What's it been like for you to coach some of the big guys? And, you know, how long did it take for them to get acclimated to your style here?
You know, I just came in and wanted to, Coach Richmond's already had a successful staff. I mean, what they've done here, what they've done the last couple of years under his regime has been very, very successful. So I wanted to come in, give kind of what I did a little bit, but also learn from him as well. So, I mean, I got great work with Dex Werner. I mean, he's unbelievable in the block. He's a physical presence. Dylan Miller's been great. Spencer Eliason's been great. I mean, so it's just been good guys to work with. They take up everything. They're sponges. I mean, they really want to soak up what you're teaching them. It's been real successful. It's been really good.
As a player, Brown helped Oral Roberts win its first ever Mid-Continent Conference Championship in 1999, and his alma mater will return to play in Fargo next week. We'll be back to wrap up the Bison Basketball Show after this.
The Bison Basketball Show on Midco Sports Network is presented by Nodak Mutual Insurance Company and Dakota Windows.
Back to wrap things up here on the Bison Basketball Show, and we take a look ahead in a busy week for the NDSU men's hoop squad. The Bison hosting Fort Wayne tonight on Midco Sports Network at 7 p.m. in a showdown for first place before hitting the road to take on Western Illinois. Then on Wednesday, the Bison back at Shields Center to host Oral Roberts. That too can be seen on Midco SN. The NDSU women are on the road the next two games at IUPUI on Saturday and then at South Dakota next Thursday. That'll do it for us. We'll see you next week on the Bison Basketball Show. We'll see you then.